Da 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 da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a few minutes to get those notifications out. Let people that know that I've gone live at 10:30 Central Time, and I know in some places in North America, at the very least, it's 12:30 at night. And in other places, well, it is getting that time that you're getting ready for bed. And because the topic this week is forgiveness, I will ask you, forgive me, for especially, when you invest your time into coming in and watching my content. It's not my intent, but in my movement forward and in taking baby steps, I'm doing the very best that I can. And I'd like to say, I made some movement. I made a little bit. Oh my goodness. I think I got my video, my finale of my September vacation trip that I did this year. I think I've completed it. I don't think it's absolutely perfectly spliced together, but I think it's done. And I was going to render it before I came live. I just finished it not even 20 minutes ago. And I was going to render it, but I didn't want it to interfere with our live tonight. So I'm going to render it after my live, and I'll go and have myself a nice bath, right? In celebration, a nice pair of pajamas, nice cup of coffee, take in some lessons, and be proud of, well, I'd have to say, it is the effort that I put into it. But in truth, a lot of these things that I accomplished today are kind of things that I've kind of put the whip to myself at the end because I was dragging my heels, dragging my butt in them, right? And sometimes we do have to, in a kind way, right, be our cheerleader, hold ourselves accountable. And that's what I was trying to do. And at the same time, prioritize. And this is when I come in tonight at 10:30 at night and start my live, right? When I apologize, I do truly apologize, but I'm apologizing because I prioritized getting that video edited that I've been procrastinating on. I had built up a little bit of momentum this evening on it. And that momentum only came from the momentum and for the completion of the tasks that I had gotten done today. All those things that I had to get done in order to get ready for my work week. That on the norm, I probably would have done it tomorrow, spent my whole day off tomorrow getting it all done because today I was working on my video, but I kind of mixed it up a little bit. It worked out perfect. I was kind of nervous that it wasn't going to work out, that I was dragging my heels, but it was in the baby steps, doing those things that I was capable of doing in the moment, right? Because I just I prefer not to edit videos, and I do admit that, and in saying that I know, because what I think about is realize that I just keep compounding that idea. But right, it is what it is. If I don't enjoy editing video, I will have to cheerlead myself, and I will have to be holding myself accountable, and I will be staying up late. My eyes are closing in, but I'm so proud of, right? And it seems silly because it seems like these are just the normal tasks, the daily tasks. And I'm congratulating myself for the small tasks that I'm getting accomplished. But, to each of us, we get to decide what the difficult tasks are, what the easy tasks are. Maybe you're a master editor and you could do that in your sleep in 5 minutes, right? that doesn't make me any less a person, right? It doesn't affect, how I would like to come to the table, but sometimes it affects how we're capable of coming to the table. But my talents lay in other places. I would like to think so. Otherwise, right? I would apologize and I'll ask your forgiveness also for taking up so much of your time. But I trust in these lessons that kind of miraculously come across my path in perfect timing. But sometimes that timing is in repeat. And that's when I get to realize that I haven't gotten the lesson, right? That, it's coming back at me. So, sometimes I have to look at it in a different perspective. Sometimes I have to go in and I have to, right, see what other people think about it and maybe resonate with it or, right, have more conviction in how I feel about that and then fight against myself in that, right? I forgive others, right? But I have to learn that, I'm worthy of a little bit of forgiveness when I don't meet up to my own expectations or other people's expectations. I disappoint others. Sometimes it's just in those boundaries and how far I want to move forward with the people or the the story being played out. Sometimes, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes it's just plain old, right? You just gotta do what you gotta do. And I have to apologize to myself sometimes because it is in the programming, and I do realize I've picked up that baton, and that sometimes I do treat myself and I do talk to myself, right? The way others have done, right? That I think the same ways sometimes. And I do have to push a little bit harder. And sometimes even when I do push a little bit harder, I have to remember that in the very least that I'm making some movement in that. And even though it's unpleasant in the moment, it's not with intent that it has to be unpleasant. It's just because of the goal, right? What you want to do, and you or me not having that resource in the minute, in the moment to, right, do a better job or even to want to do a better job, right? Maybe just have those resources so that somebody else could do it for you, right? But I always think that, even though I don't prefer to edit, that I can kind of see how the process goes and I can stumble my way around. And that if it ever gets to the point where I could have somebody edit those videos for me, that I would have a better, clearer picture of how it would like to present. And it would present better because the person editing is obviously, because, right, they're the editor. Hopefully, they enjoy what they do and not just in it for the money, right? Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of going over footage, but at the same time, because mine are adventure videos, because they're my vacations, because they're the things that I've strived so much, because they're connected to the things that I love, right? I get to relive those moments when I'm editing. So even though I don't prefer to edit, I'm getting out of it, right? I'm being rewarded as I go, which is amazing because I'm somebody who needs that immediate gratification, right? I need that reward all the way along, right? I need that stick with the bag on it, right? And I need to be chasing that, because that's how I move forward. That's how I motivate myself to get things done, because in all actuality, and we've talked about it before, I would much prefer the couch and the remote control. I would much prefer the comfy. I would much prefer what's safe, what I can control, right? But that feeds into the limiting beliefs, and that feeds into the fear and the convictions that possibly I can't do it. And in all actuality, I'm getting it done. I'm getting it done. I'm doing it in baby steps. But, I'm taking those moments because I need that gratification. Sometimes that gratification is just the recognition, right? It's just the good jobs that they are. Oh my goodness, I can't believe you got that done. Cindy, you got that video edited. It's only 10:30 at night, but yay, you got it. You said you were going to get that video completed, right? You got it completed. I'll get up tomorrow morning, take a quick look at it, because, for the most part, I was bagged as I was moving through it. But I think I did okay. I think it is presentable, and I am grateful to actually had the time to actually go over and have that experience of enjoying my trip all over again, right? And, I can apologize for not being the perfect editor, but I'm going to get better, right? I'm going to get better at it. And that's the whole, well, it's a big part of my brand, is to be able to show people the process, to show people that sometimes these things that we want in our lives, these things that we want to experience, right? That we're willing to put in the work, right? And when we do that, to be able to be the experience and to be able to be the evidence for somebody else that it can be done. And like I said, was saying yesterday, it might seem minuscule to some people, right? But sometimes for people, the smallest of steps can be even just as scary as a grand leap off a top of a mountain, right? Even the smallest bit of change. But we have to change, we have to move along. And I am grateful. Like, a lot of these lessons that I have come from my experience, come from my dynamic upbringing, right? And that that abundance of change that wasn't within my choices, but I had to change. I had to go along with it because I was a child at that time. And to be able to have that experience of transitioning in that change and grow within it, and to understand that when things change and things look so different from one moment to another, right? When I feel that I'm changing too fast, right? I just hold it back a little bit, right? Because I'm still the person that I am, but sometimes I have to recognize that I'm going too fast, right? And I do recognize it, and I do put those breaks down, and I feel a little bit of guilt and shame because I can see the hairy scary in the world, and right? But what good am I going to be if I'm so traumatized by the whole experience that I can't even make a small movement, right? And then all that work, because it was work, a lot of it was, right? But sometimes we don't have the option of handing over those things that we don't want to do to other people. Sometimes we have to do it. I didn't want to edit the videos. I wanted to give somebody else and have it all polished and beautiful, right? But then you wouldn't see the 62 years old woman or the 62-year-old woman struggling, editing videos, technology, filming, showing up live comfortably, genuinely, to the best of my ability, right? And not over apologizing, right? Not over apologizing about it because I'm prioritizing, right? I'm prioritizing in that movement that I make because sometimes we take too many and too big of chunks out of the things that we need to get done because we can see all the things. I said after this live, I've got these things. I had a list of things that I want to get on my days off. Now, right? I have to render my video. I'm going to have a bath. I'm going to come back to my desk. And then I have to do a list of things that I want to accomplish next week. And not only things that I want to accomplish, but all the things that I have to accomplish that I would prefer. But if I'm not on top of it, right? It's like going backwards on a gerbil wheel. And sometimes when you go backwards on a gerbil wheel, like all those things that you're just not getting done, there's small things. But when they're all compiled, right? That could be a mess and that could be overwhelming and right, and sometimes you just go, it's just too much, and then nothing gets done. You have to stay on top of it, right? Even if it's just baby steps and I'm getting things done, right? And like I said, I could apologize for those limitations that I have in my life or those limitations that I have in showing up, right? But I have to remember I'm showing up fresh like a loaf of bread every single day. And there are people out there, right, who are saying they'd like to, but they're not really, right, showing up the way that they could, or even showing up, right, just in the tiniest way, just to show people at the very least that they're trying, right? That they're trying. Okay, you guys, I am, right, ending my life now because I am a bubble brain and I'm not going to apologize for that. I feel good. I'm getting stuff done. I'm going to go through my video one more time just to make sure, right? I didn't take too much of a bite out of it. I was only able to cut it down by 18 minutes. A 1 hour, 48-minute video is going to be 1 hour and 30 minutes. Don't like editing. But it's just a matter of getting started. I got it done, you guys. That's all that matters. Everybody, have a great night, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Bye bye.